My name is Julia Slupska. I'm at the Oxford Internet Institute, and I'm here with Gina Neff, also at the Oxford Internet Institute. And we are presenting a paper titled Participatory Threat Modeling, Exploring Paths to Reconfigure Cybersecurity. Before we begin, we'd like to thank two of our co-authors, Scarlet, Dawson, Duckworth, and Linda Ma, as well as our funders at UKRI.
So the context for this study is that we're doing citizen science of cybersecurity, and that means bringing in computer-human interaction techniques into the work of cybersecurity. So conventional cybersecurity leaves out huge swaths of people, and it relies on information security experts who are overwhelmingly overrepresented by certain parts of the population. Who's missing are women and underrepresented groups in the discipline and the industry. Now, cybersecurity really sees humans as the problem to be fixed, not as part of the solution. And so it means that those wonderful kind of concepts that we have in HCI are missing in a lot of the ways we talk about cybersecurity.
As we were drawing on methods like participatory security design, participatory action research, and feminist critiques of technology and human-computer interaction, the method that emerged as a part of this pilot project is called participatory threat modeling, which means that we're using action research to center people's experiences of threats rather than information security ideas of data or systems. This expresses an explicitly feminist standpoint in which we want to include people in every part of the research practice as much as possible. And in practice, this meant 7 online and offline workshops in which participants would come, get help in improving their security practices, and then share their experiences of cybersecurity as well as visions for how it can improve. Over here, you can see a black and white picture of a Reconfigure workshop in a coffee shop at Oxford, where tech support people are helping other people with laptops and phones to do things like download VPNs or share their concerns about cybersecurity.
And so what this method of first giving some tools and information to people, our participants, and then asking them about what makes them feel safe or threatened online really opened up how people experience online threats quite differently according to their socially situated experience. So that could be about age, gender, sexual identity. All of these things really changed and shaped what they thought of as threats and what they wanted to protect online. Now, many of these threats are completely dismissed by traditional cybersecurity practice. For example, being a queer or a trans person means that having one's legal or banking name displayed could be an incredible threat, experienced as an incredible threat, but it's not one that necessarily cybersecurity has sought to protect. And so we see that these kinds of threats around image-based sexual abuse or misogynistic trolling were really important in our participants' everyday lives. And yet, these are ones that are not important within the cybersecurity discipline. And finally, participants really questioned the need for new tools. What they wanted instead was better norms. And sometimes those were things like better education around consent of using information. They also wanted to change the incentives around technology platforms and create better laws and protections, including things like better customer support when something goes awry.
Having reflected on these findings, we'd like to leave you with 3 key takeaways. Firstly, involving a wider variety of people in threat modeling will help us build systems that are more resilient to the range of threats that humans actually experience, as opposed to those which might be imagined by information security experts. Secondly, we were left with a set of interesting hypothetical questions. So, for example, participants brought up targeted advertising as something that made them feel threatened online. What would cybersecurity look like if it defended users against threats like targeted advertising? And lastly, by respecting these socially situated lived experiences as a valid source of knowledge about cybersecurity, we're challenging a monolithic orthodox view of what counts as a cybersecurity issue.
Finally, more information's online on our project website. Thanks for listening.